In this video, we're again going to look at calculating the probability of independent and dependent compound events. But I want to give you a little different way to look at calculating that probability. If you watched my previous video and you like the way that worked and you understand that, that's fine. But I thought I would show a slightly different way to get the same answer and just a different way of thinking about the probabilities. So again, the biggest thing that we want to think about here is with an independent event, we have with replacement. And for a dependent event, we're going to have without replacement. That doesn't change. However, there's a slightly different way of thinking about calculating the probabilities. So here in our question, we want to know the probability of picking a green marble followed by a red marble. So we're going to figure out the probability of a green marble followed by the probability of a red marble. And we're going to then multiply those two things together to get our total probability. Okay, so just like we did before, we have our first pick and we have a probability of 1/3 for picking red, 1/3 for the first green, and 1/3 for the second green. So we have a total probability of picking a green marble of 2 out of 3. So we have 2 possibilities of picking a green out of 3 total possibilities. So that is the probability first of picking a green marble. Next, we need to look at picking a red marble for our second pick. And so for our second pick, we have a probability of 1/3 for picking a red marble. So 1/3, 1 chance out of 3 for picking a red marble. And then all we have to do is multiply together the probability of our first event times the probability of our second event. So if we multiply 2/3 times 1/3, we get 2/9. And that is our probability of picking a green marble followed by a red marble. Let's see how that's different for our dependent compound events. Again, we want to see the probability of first picking a green marble followed by a red marble. So we need the probability of picking a green marble and then the probability of picking a red marble, and we're going to multiply them together. So our first pick, again, very similar to our independent compound events. We have a 2 out of 3 chance of picking a green marble, right? Because we have 2 green marbles and then a red marble in our first pick. However, in our second pick, we have to assume that we have already picked a green marble. So if we have picked a green marble and we're not putting it back in the bag, now for our second pick, we have a 1 out of 2 chance of picking a red marble. And that is the difference. So now, if we multiply those 2 probabilities together, we end up with, and again, you might want to review multiplying fractions, but you just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. So we end up with 2/6. Or if we want to reduce that fraction, we have a 1 out of 3 chance of first picking a green marble and then a red marble. Hope that helps you to understand. Either way you want to look at it is fine, but this is hopefully helpful in differentiating between independent compound events and dependent compound events.